All right, welcome back. We are going to keep talking about wetlands. In this cool book, we get to see a mom and a boy take a trip around a pond in a boat. And they look at lots of different plants and animals as they go on their trip. So I want you to look for what plants do you see? What animals do you see? When they look at something, I want you to decide, is it a plant or an animal? And if it's an animal, what kind of animal is it? So remember, we have our 6 different kinds of animals that we looked at. We looked at invertebrates, and with invertebrates we looked at, is it an insect or an arachnid or a mollusk, or is it a different kind of invertebrate, right? And then we have mammals, which usually have hair or fur and are warm-blooded and have bigger brains, right? And then we've got fish, which live in the water and breathe through gills instead of lungs, and they have scales usually. And then we have amphibians that have soft, wet skin and live near or in the water. And then we have reptiles, which have scaly or dry skin. And then we have birds, right, that have feathers and usually fly. So I want you to look for those different types of animals in this book, or is it a plant? Okay? All right, so this is Over and Under the Pond by Kate Messner, and the pictures are by Christopher Silas Neal. Over the pond we slide, splashing through lily pads, sweeping through reeds. The water's a mirror, reflecting the sky, sunshine and clouds, then a shadow below. What's down there? I ask. Under the pond, Mom says. Under the pond is a whole hidden world of minnows and crayfish, turtles and bullfrogs. We're paddling over them now. Over the pond, we skim past rushes, whirligig beetles loop and twirl, skaters on a warm summer surface. Under the pond, minnows dart through waving forests of grass, while a brook trout lurks, ready to lunge. So remember, you're looking at the plants and the animals that it talks about. Over the pond, we lift and dip and pull past a row of painted turtles on a waterlogged tree. 1, 2, 3! They slip off and away, splash, gurgle, sploosh, under the pond. Over the pond, cattails rustle and shush in the wind. Listen close. Cuckleree! Red-winged blackbirds race by. One has grass for her nest. Under the pond, a caddisfly larva builds a home of her own, a secret place of pebbles and sand. Over the pond, the shadows of trees lean out from the shore. We coast under a low-hanging branch. A moose looks up with a mouthful of water. With a mouthful of water lilies. We've interrupted his lunch. Are water lilies a plant or an animal? What is he eating? Under the pond, beavers dive deep. They pump with powerful tails and rise to the surface with delectable roots from the mud. Is the beaver eating a plant or an animal? Is the beaver a plant or an animal? Over the pond the wind gives a push and stirs the light dappled leaves on shore. There, on a branch, a new goldfinch teeters, finally ready to fly. Under the pond, tadpoles are charging, learning to hop, their losing tails, growing legs, growing up. Over the pond, there at the shore, tall and silent and still, a great blue heron stares down into the deep. There's our great blue heron. What kind of animal is that? It tenses, takes one long-legged step, and strikes! It catches a wiggling quicksilver minnow from where it's hiding under the pond. Is the blue heron eating a plant or an animal? Over the pond we drift, heads tipped up to the sun. A woodpecker clings to a teetering pine, digging for ants. Under the pond an otter claws for freshwater mussels. Over the pond a sleepy dragonfly lands for a rest. His spindly legs tickle my knee. What kind of animal is a dragonfly? Under the pond, dragonfly larvae watch what swims by. They catch minnows in monster-fast jaws. Over the pond, the shadows stretch. Ospreys circle on quiet wings. Raccoons and mink stalk the shoreline for supper. Under the pond, with a flip of a tail, a crayfish disappears in the dark. Over the pond, we head for home. We glide, swish, bump, right up onto shore as a far-off loon calls good night. The sky turns from sunset to dusk to dark. Night settles over the pond. The prowling catfish and drowsy turtles, the scuttling crayfish, and tadpoles turned frogs, wading herons, and stalking raccoons. And the hidden world under the pond. All right, friends, did you see lots of different plants and animals? Now you're going to go do a sorting activity where you get to sort out wetland animals. Okay, so you're going to look at those 6 different types of animals again and see if you can sort out your pictures into the right mats. Okay, have fun with that and have a great day.